Cosmic laws. Keep my commandments. In our journey to higher consciousness, it is absolutely vital to remember the divine laws interact together as a whole. The basis for this divine integrity is Spirit's universal laws of oneness and integration. One of God's most holy manifestations of unity is every single cosmic law includes every other cosmic law. Divine mind conceives perfectly. In his book, The Light Beyond, Rabbi Kaplan quotes the great sage and founder of Hasidism, the Baal Shem Tov, on the mystery of God's oneness. Whenever we grasp hold of any part of this unity, we grasp it all. This is true even when one grasps its outermost edge. God's integrated laws acting as one divine power is apparent in Jesus' direction to his disciples. If you love me, keep my commandments. Simply and precisely expressing one divine law, in this instance love, requires keeping all divine statutes. The term unconditional, as in the phrase unconditional love, is applied to every cosmic law. Spirit expresses unconditional love and order, unconditional equality and individuality, unconditional life, and so on. Spirit, being its own laws, expresses its will and creative life force unconditionally and perfectly. What makes an act of love or an act of any other divine law unconditional? God's oneness and integration. Love becomes unconditional when all the other conditions for divine love are met. The conditions of love are the inclusion and the enactment of all the other principles of God. When all the laws of God are integrated into the act of love, love is unconditional. Whenever even one of God's laws is forgotten and left out of the equation, love becomes conditional, because there still is an aspect of love to be fulfilled before genuine love is achieved. Unconditionality is true of every divine law. God's love differs from man's because his omniscience provides a perfect awareness of the oneness of all life, energies, principles, and all the requirement to express as an integrated, interrelated whole. Great Learning, a Confucian document, beautifully expresses God's unified principle affecting every level of human interaction. The ancients who wished to manifest their clear character to the world would first bring order to their states. Those who wished to bring order to their states would first regulate their family. Those who also wished to regulate their families would first cultivate their personal lives. Those who wished to cultivate their personal lives would first rectify their minds. Those who wished to rectify their minds would first make their wills sincere. And those who wished to make their wills sincere would first extend their knowledge. The extension of knowledge consists in the investigation of things. When things are investigated, knowledge is extended. When knowledge is extended, the will becomes sincere. When the will is sincere, the mind is rectified. When the mind is rectified, the personal life is cultivated. When the personal life is cultivated, the family will be regulated. And when the family is regulated, the state will be in order. And when the state is in order, there will be peace throughout the world. From the Son of Heaven down to the common people, all must regard cultivation of the personal life as the root of foundation. There is never a case when the root is in disorder and yet the branches are in order. The center of the hourglass, so-called, makes this text remarkable. The locus upon which all these interconnecting, interdependent conditions of human life hinge is the investigation of things. What are these things? Chu Xi remarked, "The meaning of the expression, the perfection of knowledge depends on the investigation of things, is this. If we wish to extend our knowledge to the utmost, we must investigate the principle of all things we come to contact with. It is only because all principles are not investigated that man's knowledge is incomplete." Expressed in another way, perfect understanding of principles or cosmic law is the surest way to rectify the mind, the family, the society, and the nation, and to bring about world peace. Rectification begins in consciousness. Change in our consciousness invariably leads to change in our personal lives. As the Great Learning teaches, there is never a case when the root or consciousness is in disorder, and yet the branches, the outward manifestation of consciousness, are in order. Hence, never is there a situation in which we imperfectly understand spiritual principle and yet have perfect order in our personal lives and in the world. Knowledge of cosmic laws, however, will not fully bring us into enlightenment. We have to take the next important step, using these laws. Only then can we witness the true power of Almighty God in our lives and in the transformation of this world. It is now the present, begins Gloria in a communication on August 13, 1963. And the era of the present says that we are about to bring into manifestation a higher principle of life, a more conscious awareness of God's divine laws in motion in every aspect of earth life. This includes political government, it includes economic freedom, it includes the freedom to express and to explore the individual self in every field of life, understanding, education, recreation, being, and comfort. So how can we do this? Only by consciously understanding the divine laws that are at work in the universe and using them. I have used the words application and apply over and over again because it is of no avail unless you learn to apply what you know. It is all well and good to have all this knowledge. You can go through college and study all the fine principles and the greatest of formulas. But if you do not go out and apply them and make a better world, what good is all that knowledge? So it has been with man on the earth for thousands and thousands of years. As a matter of fact, the whole project of education for the race karma on earth has been to teach man finally to apply what he knows in the right and positive side of the ledger instead of the negative side of the ledger. In ancient lands and histories and civilizations known as Lemuria and Atlantis, man had this knowledge, as he had this knowledge right here today on earth. But he applied these things on the negative side of the ledger, and many destructive and ugly conditions were allowed to exist. But this was man's growth. He did learn how to use and apply God's laws in the material substance, which we call frequency, vibration, and motion. Now man must swing the pendulum to the other side of the road. That side is to bring about a positive, gracious, good, fine life of productivity for equal means that all will be welcome to use. Yes, this means all, everyone on earth must be conscious of his divine heritage as a child of God. Every single soul on the earth must begin to use material of the spiritual substance and manipulate in a better life for his own individual life and for the life of the group with which he is involved. Remember, we use the word group often to mean just a family circle, often to mean a small community, but certainly to mean the whole earth planet, the world as we are concerned with here and now. So be about our Father's business and start learning this manipulation of matter.